Okay, there's going to be no video on this. This is a text conversation that I had with her uh, on Monday, July 10th. Yeah. So technically, that's the 10th of the evening into the 11th. All right. Sorry, I was checking the time there. Basically, okay, since more and more of our old friends have found out about this divorce and everything, I've had so many of them coming out of the woodwork to tell me things, and I don't want to say their name exactly. I don't know if they're ready for that. Whatever. They were kind of hinting. It's kind of like, hey, I'll tell you, but I don't want to get involved, so I understand that. But every single person that Tara has blocked, over, I don't know for how long, has come out of the woodwork and told me the real reason that they got blocked. And this last person had never met me um, until a certain point and believed every bit of what Tara was saying, that I was hateful, mean, spiteful, always being mean to her. Tara had to pay for all the bills and all this stuff or whatever. Well, then they came out here and they had a chip on their shoulder and whatever. But then they got to meet me and we talked and we chatted and everything else. And then of course they called Tara out on her bullshit, mostly about me and other things as well that Tara was just flat lying about. But they called her out on it. And the reward for that was, I'm sick of people like you in my life. Block. Uh, she's done it to her own sister. She's done it to anybody who won't agree with Tara or the way Tara sees the world. And even if while Tara sees the world is not the truth. So, but either way, these people are coming out of the woodwork and tell me the vile things that she said about me. And I mean, that is making it so much easier for me to realize what I was living with. And some of them it's just hard to even believe, to be honest about it. I know that she went to one of my business partners at one point in time when we were separated because yeah, it was her and that lady Suzanne down there trying to get this guy to quit doing business with me. And they basically like, well, you better be careful because he's gay. He went gay. I went gay. Yeah, trying to say that I went gay or whatever to try to make this guy, whatever. And he was telling me everything they were saying. He was screen capturing it. I'd be sitting there at night and my phone would start and it's like, oh, here we go. Because he would respond back to him and just lead him on. And then just let him, and he would screen capture it and send it to me. It's like, appreciate it, man. And then, yeah, that's when I knew how manipulative Terry was. That is when we put the prenuptial in place to make sure that every single thing that I bought with my money, and by the way, Tara right now owns a car. She's staying in a couple of pigsty houses that are really horrible homes. And I'm not, you guys have seen mine, it's not perfect. But I used my money. She didn't help much at all. I think it's maybe in these text messages, but anyway, it just, all of this is in my name. And I've got my houses paid for, I've got my cars paid for, I've got my land paid for. And that's something that these other people that never knew me before come out here and met me and they were like, so I'm the, she's lying and, I am a nice guy. I try to be a nice guy to everybody and I work my tail off to pay for this place. And I mean, that's why I still get up at 4:30 in the morning every morning. I got up that early and worked till the sun went down for so long. So either way. But these people are coming out of the woodwork and telling me things. So in this one, as you can see here, sorry, I've got cat hair. One of these people called me, and you can see it's late. Now I've been on the phone with him about an hour. So anyway, I'm telling her, hey, I've just got a phone call from somebody. They told me the vile shit you said about me. I said, you need to, yeah. So, and so we still have an argument about how much she's supposed to pay. Now, notice here, it, a normal person would be like, I help all I can with the bills, you know. But she's like, I'm only going to pay what I'm supposed to pay. The very minimum she has to pay in order to stay here. So she never really truly contributed to this place. So I shouldn't be surprised, I guess, right? All right. So I tell her again, stop manipulating. What is the worst and most vile thing you said about me in the last 2 years? So I qualify the statement. Pretty clear, right? And then, of course, I'm still distracted that I haven't learned to deal with the narcissist yet and how they do their games. So I talk about that. I paid $249,000 for this place. She contributed $32,000. And I mean, don't get me wrong, $32,000 is a good chunk of change, right? But the numbers here just don't line up, do they? So either way. And of course, she tries to distract. I haven't really been talking to anybody. But of course, now we know that Tara has on her friends list and everything. I got her to admit it a couple of times. Over 300 people on her friends list. Right? That's because she does that filter stuff on her face and dyes her hair to try to make herself look cute and young and whatever. And there's some people on there that just ain't buying it. I've heard from them too, and it's like, I hope she never goes missing. And if we actually put her, since we don't know what she really looks like, no one will be able to find her. So it's kind of funny how like that. So anyway, you can't tell I've got a kitty cat that decides she wants to do this. And again, here we go. Still manipulating. Oh, I'm just reading. Now this becomes key because here in a little bit she's like, well, I don't know what you were talking about. She goes back to the playing dumb. Then she distracts again and goes back and starts about a document, co-owner, property, whatever. You see, when she called the police, she's tried to claim that she was co-owner of the property and didn't have to leave. And I said, no. I said, it's not. You can look up, and they just type it. You guys need to look it up. Type in my property, comes up my name on it. And the law of Texas is clear. If your name ain't on the property, you ain't got to know that you don't have any rights. You may have landlord tenant rights, but that's about it at best. So, I could force her to leave, and I was going to. All right. And here, still avoiding, I know I'm still learning about the narcissist thing at this point. And oh, look at my manipulated surprise. See, now we're here again. What's the question? Well, wait a minute. You just told me you were reading, and you haven't figured it out. See, that's the playing dumb part that a narcissist does. And I even tell it. Now, the thing I was talking about at the time was I was learning about master manipulator, which is, a narcissist, but it's not said that, Come on, click, through. I think I went past one photo. Hang on, yes. Yeah, okay, I did. Now this becomes key again. Now, Tara uses another manipulation tactic. Right. Then she's trying to detract from the argument again. I need to go get a dictionary, and it's anything to do to avoid what's going on. Most normal people would say, okay, give me a moment, whatever. But here's key. Look, I'm mentally disabled. That makes me not normal. And it's like, I think that's what we're discussing, yes. Okay, but the problem here is this is her go-to argument. Okay, and whenever you get her cornered in her little manipulation tactics that she pulls, you get all the way down to that little last piece of corner that she's standing in, and then she says this, oh, I've got mental problems. It's like, yep, we know that. You've got mental problems, all right. So, playing dumb, rule 8, and I had this list, and I kept it laying here for a while because I was memorizing it, of all the tactics weeks I used. I don't remember how many there were, but either way. And now she tries blame shifting. Okay, couldn't be any worse than what people have told me that you have said about me. See, blame shifting. You know, and I buy into it already. Well, guilt transference. Okay, same thing. Be happy to tell you the worst thing I've ever said about you. Okay, and that is, you're a manipulating little whore that wholly lacks integrity. Never cared a shred for the commitment you made to me in this marriage. Almost from the day we were married. Within a year of our first being married, she was out having an affair. So that should have been the writing on the wall. To be bit back. Loved her and kept trying to forgive her. Yeah, my mistakes. So I'm sitting here, this quarter class song back in the 80s. That's what a friend of mine said together. Like, yep, here's what you need to do, man. I was like, yep. So here we go. And I'm twice as mad. And you're seeing it right here. And this is something I'm just now learning about, is that some of the things I'm going through, I'm posting these videos. She thinks they're about her, and they're really not. They're expressions of my anger, yes. Because I'm mad. I am mad at her, yes. But I'm mad at myself, all right? I'm embarrassed that I let her manipulate me, put me in this position, and I should have woken up to this years ago. So that's where that comes from. So, this is what it is. I have to work through it. And this is true. And when this is done, I'm done. I've had enough, And now, of course, she avoids again. And I said, hey, that's a perfect response for a narcissist, for a manipulator, And then she goes back to this. She's, again, here we go, distraction. All right, well, this is the first question I saw. And now suddenly, I see and you notice the times. I didn't respond for 10 minutes. I'm just like, just not going to play it. Oh, I just saw the previous post. Well, I don't know what the worst thing is. Complaining about the treatment. All right. See, that's all the bullshit that she's been telling you guys on Facebook that I supposedly did. And of course, you can go back and read the text messages that I actually put and posted. And that's just a sample of them. Where, oh, he's always mean to me. And I'm posting pictures of the screenshots where it's like, hey, you forgot this on the floor. Try not to forget that. Please. She's like, oh my God, I forgot. And I was like, no problem. We got it solved. Just try to remember it in the future. At no point in time did I, you lazy, ugly, fat cow. None of that was ever done. It's all the game for your sympathy. Tara has to be the center of attention, and what she's found is Munchausen's. By doing this, by claiming she's a victim of all my evil and dastardly plans, Dudley Do Right. Ooh, I'm Dudley Do Right. Let me twist him, You guys are such dupes. All right. This person called me, told me, and they did. They knew I was normally in bed. And I guess they basically just kind of told me. They were like, it's been eating at them. They wanted to tell me, but now, since they know that she's gone or going, they called me and told me, And it is a wild thing. And here's another thing I picked up from this. Okay, all this delaying that she's doing, and then she avoids it again. Oh, I'm talking to Barbara about this, and trying to avoid again, And then, yeah. What she's doing, what was that? Hang on a second. Okay, it was just a screen messing up a little bit. What she's doing is trying to actually think through all the vile and sick stuff she said about me, because there's been so much of it, she can't keep track of it. And here's the problem with it, is that it's made up, it's fake. I can recall the truth, even though it may be, my viewpoint of the truth, I'll admit that everyone sees things a little different sometimes, and as we get older, our memories get faulty, I'll give you that, but she said so much wild shit, she can't keep it straight. That's the problem with manipulators. If they get too many balls in the air, at some point, they all fall, so yeah. Here we go, and I actually was getting sick. I was just physically becoming sick from the things I'm hearing that she said about me. And that some of you even believe some of this stuff. I mean, you people have got as much of a problem as she does if you believe some of this crap. But whatever. Did you again? All right, and here we go with guilt avoidance again, and gaslighting. Okay. What she says here is, I don't know what it could be, other than the time you put the gun to my head while we were watching What Dreams May Come, the movie. That's the worst thing I can think of. Yeah. And I say, all right, another manipulation tactic. I said in the last 2 years, this does nothing more than just confirm how vile a person you are. And that's the truth of it, I believe that. And there is also a distraction argument. I noticed you forgot to mention the details of your manipulating statement. See, I can close my eyes and remember the details of it. We're watching the scene, and it's a pivotal scene. If you guys have never seen Dream May Come, you need to watch it. It's really cool. We're watching that part where Christy decides to just join her in hell, and you can see him sit down and just start to shrivel and shrink, and because he loves her so much, he's going to make that sacrifice. All right, and I did. I cried. I'm like, damn, and I said, I want a relationship like that. I knew then, somewhere down inside, I knew she didn't really love me at all. She didn't, and she said something vile to me at that time. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. My mind, I think, and I've heard this, that the mind on some things, when some people tell you some things, just blanks it out. And I threatened to commit suicide at that point. I did. It hurt me so deeply. And I may have actually meant it. I don't know. I didn't do it. I obviously didn't mean it that much. But she said, and it wasn't good enough for her. This is typical with a manipulator like that. It wasn't enough that she put that knife in and twisted it. Then she turned around and, cranked on it a little bit more and said something rude. And I did. I put the gun to her head and I said, maybe it'll be a murder-suicide. And at least then she was smart enough to shut the fuck up, because she kept pushing my buttons, and as long as it was me killing myself, she didn't get black eye. But and her precious, yeah. But if she was actually putting things through her change, yeah. And it was interesting she never did that again. Probably a good thing. Anyway, that's what she's trying to do here, is manipulate the conversation. That the whole of the reality was that. And that's typical gaslighting for narcissists. And then I tell her about it. You forgot to mention the whole of it. And then she admits it then. See, take us both out. That's exactly what happened. But you had to call her down, and that's a rare event for her to actually mention the whole truth. Anyway, these are some of the important text messages. And that what this is a way for me to realize where I'm at and why I'm here, how I got here, and this healing process thing I have to do and go through every night, and it does work. It really does. Because I'm trying to give it a chance. I'm not like just doing it because someone forced me to or something. Because I need help when I was there. And so this is part of that. You're supposed to point out these things they've done to you like this. Okay? And I even say it, if you go back and read those, if you feel free to do it, whatever. That I'm in shame that all it happened. I'm embarrassed. I have to admit that, forgive myself for letting her do that to me and do it to me for years. I have to do these things. And hopefully then by putting it out there and doing these things,